Well, we may be into 2026 and the latest and greatest new TVs are clearly on the horizon, but if you don't suffer from FOMO and you want to bag a 2025 TV that gives flagship offerings a real run for the money for not a lot of money, then stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Phil Hinton and in this video we're taking a look at the Panasonic Z90B. If you're in the market for a high-end OLED TV but you can't quite, as I put it in the review, stretch to the flagship, then you absolutely need to stick around for this video. And before we get into the review, hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm gods. It really does help us out, and if you want to see more reviews like this, then do make sure that you've clicked that subscribe button and of course rung the bell for notifications. If you want the full in-depth technical dive, then head over to AVForums and you can read my full review over there. And while you're over there, why not join the largest TV and AV and hi-fi community on the web, where we have hundreds of thousands of members who can answer all of your questions on this or any other TV or AV kit that you're interested in. Also remember that our reviews are never sponsored or paid for. We bring you honest, unbiased reviews to help you make the right buying decision. So what exactly is the Z90B? Well, at its heart, it's a Master OLED Pro EX panel, complete with a heatsink, and the key difference between this and the Z95B is the panel technology. The flagship gets the primary RGB tandem panel, which is a mouthful, I know, but the Z90B still gets this Master OLED EX panel. It has a heatsink, which is important as that's what lets the TV push the brightness further and hold on to it for longer without worrying about any image retention. And just a quick heads up, this high-end panel is only on the 55, 65 and 77 inch versions of the Z90B. The smaller 42 and 48 inch sets use a slightly different OLED EX panel without a heatsink. The processor running the show is the new HCX Pro AI Mark II, and it's the brains of the operation, ensuring everything from picture quality and sound is optimized. And for the design, well, it's classic Panasonic. We have a round swivel stand which continues to cause debate, and if you've seen a Panasonic OLED TV over the last few years, you will instantly recognise the design being used here. Under the panel is a front-firing 3.1 soundbar with a subwoofer situated on the back of the TV. Around the back we also have the connections. We get 4 HDMI inputs. There is a bit of a rub here, only 2 of those are full bandwidth 48 gigabit per second 2.1 inputs. The remote control provided with the Z90B is identical to previous years, with a long silver plastic body and all the direct access keys that you'll need. Right, it's time to get technical, but I'll try and keep this easy to follow and brief. And this is where Panasonic really starts to flex its muscles. We're talking about colour accuracy. I've been measuring, calibrating and reviewing TVs for the last 2 decades, and I'm also trained and certified by the ISF, THX and PVA calibration bodies, so you can trust these numbers. Plus, if you want to deep dive into these in a bit more detail, you can also head over and read my full review at AVForums. Our testing rig consists of our Meridio 7 generator, portrait displays, Calman software, a Klein K10A meter which is profiled to a Jetty 1511 high-res Spectro. These are high-quality measuring and calibration devices that cost many thousands and are very accurate. So what did I find with the Z90B? Well, the results are very good indeed straight out of the box, just what you would expect from Panasonic. In filmmaker mode, the Delta E errors for SDR are at 2.2 or under. Now for the non-technical folks, a Delta E error of under 3 is generally considered to be below the visible threshold, so you can't actually see it. This TV is perfectly accurate out of the box, grayscale tracking is spot on, and the Rec 709 saturation chart is excellent. And this is the hallmark of a Panasonic TV, exceptional accuracy that gets you to reference levels without needing to spend a minute in the settings menu. Moving to HDR performance, and things are also incredibly accurate here. In terms of peak brightness, the Z90B measures in at 1273 nits on a 10% window and over 200 nits full screen. Plus, tone mapping and PQ EOTF tracking are also excellent against the standards, with no issues seen within the tracking for 1000 and 4000 nit content. The Z90B is also capable of excellent DCI-P3 saturation tracking to the standards. We measured BT 2020 at 72% XY, 78% UV, with P3 coming in at 97% XY and 99% UV. The Panasonic Z90B is also a format champion. Unlike other competitors out there, Panasonic hasn't picked a side when it comes to HDR. You get support for HDR10+, HDR10, HLG hybrid log gamma, and Dolby Vision and Dolby Vision EQ with precision detail. You get to choose your flavour of HDR, and that's a massive plus point for movie lovers out there. But, you know, there's always a but in a review. It's not perfect. In my testing, I did spot some minor issues with Dolby Vision content in particular. Specifically, a slight posterization effect was visible when the screen was fading from black. This was seen in the opening scene of A Quiet Place Day 1, for example, where dust and smoke highlighted the effect. HDR10 and SDR content, on the other hand, are absolutely clean and posterization free. Now let's switch gears to the gamers in the room. The Z90B is a fantastic gaming TV. We've already covered the two HDMI 2.1 ports, but they do bring all the necessary gaming acronyms: AMD FreeSync Premium, NVIDIA G-Sync, VRR, ALM, plus there's Dolby Vision HDR supported from the Xbox Series X. The input lag is also incredibly low. At 4K 60 we measured 12.7 milliseconds, and that dropped to just 4.9 milliseconds for 120Hz signals. Finally, the sound. The Z90B doesn't have a full Technics-tuned Dolby Atmos system like the flagship does, but this forward-firing soundbar and rear subwoofer arrangement is seriously good for TV. Dialogue is clear, the stereo soundstage is decent, and there's enough bass for normal listening volumes. Another handy feature is the option to add an external subwoofer and adjust the crossover in the menu, which is all very cool and very Panasonic. The smart TV system is Fire TV OS, and it's generally very good in actual use with all of your key apps like Netflix, Disney Plus and Prime Video. And of course, for UK viewers, the inclusion of a Freely TV service for all the UK catch-up services without needing an aerial, which is a big tick in the box for Panasonic. So here we are, the Panasonic Z90B. It's an excellent OLED TV that delivers an exceptionally accurate cinematic image right out of the box. Its HDR performance with the Master OLED Pro EX panel and heatsink is genuinely superb, especially for the price point it's currently sitting at. It's a great gaming panel, and the sound is better than most of the competition out there. The cons, well, they are minor. There's only two HDMI 2.1 ports, and there's a little bit of posterization with some Dolby Vision content, though it's clean everywhere else. So, should you buy this TV? If you want that signature Panasonic cinematic image quality, if you're a film lover who values accuracy above all else, and you can't quite stretch to the Z95B flagship, then the Z90B is a stunning mid-range model. It delivers a flagship experience for a highly competitive price, and with the 2026 models just around the corner, these 2025 TVs are starting to drop seriously in price, making the Z90B an even bigger bargain. But you need to be quick, as the stock won't last much longer in stores in the UK and US and elsewhere. I'll put the link to the full written review down in the description below, which has all of my technical charts and measurements, so you can see the data for yourself. Go check that out, and as always, let us know what you think of this TV. Are you thinking of buying one? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if this review has been useful to you and you want to see more of these in the future, then please do hit that subscribe button for the channel. It really does help us out with the algorithm. I'm Phil Hinton, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.